If Silva wins and GSP wins, will that super fight be on for sure?
I'd like to do it. If they both win, I think it's time. You know, people have been talking about it forever. You know, Jake Shields was there. This kid hasn't lost in 6 years. Just beat Anderson. Got it over his first fight in the UFC. Has beat a list of the who's who in that weight division. You know, he's out there and deserves this shot. And if George St-Pierre can beat him,
and behind the scenes, the two guys want to do this.
Why
do they want to do this?
Yeah, why would they not? For me, as far as I'm concerned, first of all, after this fight with Jake Shields, George St-Pierre win, I mean, what's next? To step up and challenge the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Right now, if you asked anybody, and probably everybody here, people would flip and flop over who's number one. A lot of people tell me they think George St-Pierre is number one pound for pound. I truly believe Anderson Silva is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I don't know how anybody could deny it, but people do believe that George St-Pierre is too. So you got number one and number two pound for pound, and George St-Pierre can move to 85. I just think as far as their legacies go, it's huge for both guys.
And you feel that basically that it's worth having GSP move up to middleweight because he's basically done with everything?
I think when a guy has accomplished everything he can accomplish somewhere, it's time to move on to the next challenge. There's so many obstacles. First, this fight has to happen and win, and Anderson Silva not be injured after the fight. Then the same exact thing with George St-Pierre. It could happen before the end of the year.
But the idea would be to make it on middleweight or in a catch weight between.
George St-Pierre will vacate his 170-pound title and move to 185.
You know, Anderson, he's when he was asked about it, you know, like a couple of times he talks about, you know, how short George St-Pierre is and how he doesn't have a body, he doesn't have the size to be a middleweight, you know, and actually call him a midget. So, are you worried about that? Do you think that George St-Pierre? No, but do you think that, you know, like the size difference could be?
I actually think George St-Pierre is a pretty good sized 170-pounder. Listen, the beef that I had with it in the first place is I think that Anderson Silva could be a 205-pound fighter. He's moved up there and he's won fights, but I got to tell you, man, people can say whatever they want, but George St-Pierre looks impressive. You know, Josh Koscheck said, I dare him to stand up with me, he won't do it. He went out there and shut his eye after about 4 or 5 jabs. I don't think that's ever been done. I've never seen it happen in mixed martial arts where a guy went out and actually busted up a guy's eye in 3 or 4 punches, you know? So I wouldn't count George St-Pierre out at all. I think it's actually a very good fight, and, you know, I don't really believe that Anderson thinks that.